Mic check, 1 2 1 2. What's up, Cowboys Nation? I see everybody in the building. Y'all ready for the season? Yeah. Salute to everybody in the chat. See my bro El Diablo in the building. My guy CB in the building. Cowboys fans in the building. Yeah. Hope everyone's getting ready for a fun, exciting Memorial Day weekend. You know, try to do something a little different today. What up, Los? I see you, bro. Yeah. We got some things we're going to talk about. Do me a favor, man. Go ahead and get them likes up, get them shares up, let's get them fires. Get them fires started in the chat. Yeah, we're going to talk about it, bro. We're going to talk about all that. Yeah. We got some fun today. We got some fun today, you know, because it's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got nothing to do. Yeah. I see everybody want to get into that O-line talk. Yeah, we definitely going to talk about this offensive line, or lack thereof. Yeah. Guys, questions about Tony Pollard in the building. My guy El Diablo, he's ready. He's ready. Salute to my guy Nixon in the building. Up above my man Nix. DJ Nix, man. I'm gonna have him call in here in a second. We're gonna talk about a few things. Yeah, buddy. What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy J Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up, and you're now tuned to CFO Sports. So if you are new or if you're not, do us a huge favor. Just like my guy said in the chat, man, like, comment, and subscribe. We are making a push. We are trying to get to that 4,000 mark. I think we are like 20 subscribers away from 4,000, right? So let's go ahead and get that 4,000 before the season even starts, man, because y'all know we are one of the most lit communities on this YouTube fan base when it comes to Dallas Cowboys football, man. So salute to everybody in the chat. What we gonna do today, man? We're just gonna freestyle. We're gonna have some fun. You know, it's Friday. I'm off work now. I ain't got nothing to do, so I'm just gonna sit back and chill out. But a lot of people across social media has been asking me questions about this, about that, like this, and my fingers get sore. So we're gonna kick back, be real informal today. We ain't got all the setups and the slides and all that. Y'all keep the questions coming in the chat. Get them shares up, and we're going to sit back and talk. Like I said, we're going to have a few people call in. We're going to have some fun. But one of the things I do want to talk about first is Tyler Smith. And I see the question already circulating when it comes to the offensive line. And Jason Peters, that's the hot topic. But now it sounds like Jason Peters is kind of going through his physical. So I think that you could see it happen. Now, my concern is when it was coming to Jason Peters, like my guy Joe already know, right? Jason Peters, that's the hot topic button, right? My concern was, we all know he's an Eagle. You know, he has that Eagle lure in him. You know, he's been with the Eagles for quite some time before he went to Chicago. So is Stephen Jones who's going to disrespect him? Yeah, I don't think it would have went too smoothly with Jason Peters. But from what it sounds like, you know, I think that they're leaning towards the deal. If I was a betting man, I would say that deal would probably be closed by end today or tomorrow, right? Because the Cowboys have backed themselves in the corner, y'all. And we all know that. Salute to Tyler Smith. I'm going to play a Tyler Smith interview here in a second. But, you know, when it comes to the offensive line, they didn't address it. And they really didn't have a contingency plan if something was to happen to Tyron Smith. So here we are. You know, here we are. So as of right now, I feel like Jason Peters is the move. Now, it's been conflicted, Cowboys Nation. Some people is like, nah, Jason Peters is old and washed. He ain't no good. He's washed. He's a shell of himself. Say, bruh, don't sit here and lie to me and act like Jason Peters is not better than Josh Ball. Facts, right? Don't sit back and act to me like Jason Peters at 40 years old is not better than Matt Waletzko, right? So as they always say, beggars cannot be choosy. And when it comes to Jason Peters, he's a guy that, I'm definitely in favor of adding. Now, he doesn't have to be your prototypical left tackle of the future, right? But he has to be a guy that can kind of be your bridge until Tyler Smith can fully emerge. But also, if something was to happen to Tyler Smith, right, because he's a little bit nicked up with the ankle, if he goes down, I am not sitting out there in Arlington and watching Josh Ball and Matt Waletzko try to protect Dak Prescott. I ain't going to do it. Ain't gonna be me. Ain't gonna be me. Y'all, nope, no way. So Jason Peters can come out there, give some continuity to the offensive line, give it kind of that veteran guy, and it allows you to be a little bit more flexible with how you want to use Tyler Smith. Now, for week 1, y'all, I think that you're more than likely going to see Tyler Smith as your starting left tackle, because even if they sign Jason Peters today, he has to go through all the prototypical calls. He probably won't be able to practice until Wednesday. You're not tossing him out there Sunday at left tackle, right? But he's going to be your breakup in case of emergency if something was to happen. And then in the future, they might get him ramped up. But, I'm confident in Tyler Smith, y'all. I know a lot of people do not trust his kid, but when you sit back, you watch his temperament, you watch how he conducts himself, you watch his attitude, the things that he's saying, you have to be excited. I know he isn't a flashy pick, right? We like toys, Cowboys Nation. I'm going to lie, I like toys, right? We all wanted, wide receivers and corners and safeties and, linebackers that can do all these sorts of things. But when it comes to Tyler Smith, I think that eventually, like I've been telling y'all, be patient. Be patient when it comes to Tyler Smith, and I feel like this kid is going to pan out. I'm going to go ahead and play this interview. Let me know if y'all can hear it. We got some new toys, man. We got some new toys.
I'm focused, man.
Can y'all hear that, man?
I'm focused,
man. We got toys now, man, and that's thanks to your viewership, your donation, all of your support. We are able to upgrade this studio, so we got all brand new equipment, and I'm also trying things out to see if things work, doing all sorts of stuff, man. So like I said, we're going to have my guy BJ Nix call in, but let me know if you guys can hear this interview from Tyler Smith and let me know your thoughts.
When you see guys who are pros on and off the field, I can only imagine how much you notice that and are influenced by that. Have that as an example as a young player. How much do you kind of gravitate and pay attention to those little things that he does?
I mean, that's big time. Like, the dudes I have in my room, like T. Still, Zach Martin, Tyron, and just even the dudes out of my room like Dak. Like, the consistency that they carry themselves with, they do the same thing every day. Like, Zach stretches before practice every day. It's like things that you see every day that they do consistently. The way they eat, the way they train, the way they approach the day, like how attentive they are in meetings, like them taking notes. That's just, it shows you the true makings of a professional and what it's going to take to make it as long as they have in this league and have the success that they had. So, it's huge for me as a young player to, incorporate into the way, I do things, my routine and stuff. Because, I know it doesn't happen by coincidence. It's a huge body of work. It's an attitude that they come to work with every day. And that's responsible for a lot of their success.
And that was what I was going to ask, that is, how is your routine, any specific parts of your routine that you've developed specifically because you've seen a veteran do it himself and how it's worked for him?
I mean, definitely just changing my stretching and eating habits, and even like the people who I do like my rehabilitation with, like on and off the field. I know you got to put a lot of money into your body, not just in the facility but out of it as well. Like just finding people who after games, after practices, get me right, and finding what works for me is huge. And stretching is a huge thing for O linemen. Like just making sure I'm always taking care of my body, making sure I'm hydrated, make sure I eat in the morning. Like there's such little things, but like you can feel the differences, and it helps to be fully prepared in everything that you do. I'd rather do all the things that I need to do and go out there knowing that I've done everything to put myself in a successful position than not do it and have it even be a worry in my mind. And that's just those are small examples that they show me every day.
This kid got it, y'all.
Carry yourself as a professional and do what you need to do.
Having confidence on the field, does it start with having confidence off the field in terms of your routine, knowing that you're doing all the things needed to be at your best when it comes time to play? You've done it, you put in the work, you're doing the right things, and now it's just time to go ahead and play.
Right, there's a lot of things that go into that. That's part of it for sure. Like another thing is having confidence in what you're doing, how you're being coached. Everybody's strong, everybody fast. This is the NFL. Like everybody's a gifted athlete, but falling on your fundamentals is huge for me. Having trust that I'm going against the best guys to get me better every day, and I'm having the best coaching to get me better. It's been a huge part of my development. Just trusting what I'm being told, trusting what Zach tells me to do, trusting what Tyron tells me to do, what Terrence tells me to do in certain situations. That's really helped me because I know, I know it's all working towards something, and that is stuff that I need to incorporate into my game to be successful.
Yeah, man. How can you as a Cowboys fan not be excited about that, man. The kid just wants to work. The kid just wants to work, come and do his job, man, and put in the work. And I'm excited for Tyler Smith, y'all. I'm excited for him. And I think that he's going to have tremendous upside. And like you said, he has the mindset. He's listening to Tyron Smith, Zach Martin. He's coachable, right? He's listening to Dak Prescott. He is sitting back and watching what they do. And I've always said this, man, and it's not just for athletes, right? I even do it in my own personal career, right? If you see someone at your job and he's climbing that corporate ladder, whatever they do, you do it. If they work late, you work late. If they come in early, you come in early. If they you just kind of just mirror them. Why try to recreate the blueprint when it's already there? And so you have a player like Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Hall of Famers, Pro Bowlers, all pro, like right there in your own locker room. Hey, whatever Zach Martin does, I'm doing. Hey, you going to weights? Okay, I wasn't planning on going to weights. I'm going to weights. You know, you watching film, I wasn't planning on watching film, but if he watching film, I'm watching film. So it's really that simplistic when it comes to the mentality of wanting to be better, right? When it comes to Tyler Smith, I don't think he's going to be one of those guys to get caught up in the limelights of Dallas, right? We know there ain't going to be a lot of people out there in Tyler Smith jerseys, right? He ain't going to be getting flooded by, endorsements or none of that, right? So when it comes to Tyler Smith, to put himself in the best position is going to be on the field, and where his payday is going to come is from being that left tackle protecting Dak Prescott for the future. So let me go ahead and see if I can pipe my guy BJ Nixon. All right, let's see here. Like I said, we got some new toys we playing with, man. So we trying to get litty, man. But yeah, man, that's my thoughts on Tyler Smith. Like I said, I was on the kid in the draft, and coming out of the draft, I was okay with it. Now, I didn't know what the plan was because I viewed him as a left tackle, and I just didn't believe in drafting a guard. But he's going to be more of a project. But let me see if we can go ahead and pipe my guy BJ Nixon the building. Hold up. Yo, Nix, can you hear us? Yeah, hold on. Let me see. Let me get you right. Let me get you right. There we go. Go ahead. Can you hear us? Yo, Nix.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear us? Nothing? Nothing. Hold on.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear us, Nix?
Uh-oh.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Can y'all hear Nix?
New toys.
Hold on. Let me see. You should be able to hear us. Hold on. Nix cannot hear us. All right. Because we can hear it. Can y'all hear Nix? I hear Nix loud and clear. Let's see here. Can you not hear us, bro? Yo, Nix, could you not hear us?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. You wasn't hearing us through the speaker, though. Let's see here.
But I hear you now, though.
Oh, but now you're just on speakerphone, though. You're just on speaker. But they can hear you through the audio. Let me try this. You still can't hear nothing? Nope.
Very faintly I can hear you, like whisper quiet.
Let's see here. How about now?
A little bit better.
Crank them.
Hold on, let me try to say something now.
Check. Can you hear us?
Yeah, like all the way I can occasionally hear you at this moment is putting you on speaker and putting it up to my ear where my speaker is.
Okay, but they can hear you. They can hear you, man. So tell everybody in the chat what's up, man. We got BJ Nixon in the building. Like I said, we're just on lunch break. I just kind of call him at work. Like, yo, let's just hop and do a live real quick, man. So, Nix, what's going on, man?
Man, not a whole lot. I'm about ready to sit still here, getting out of the country week before this game against the Bucks. So, I'm at work. I'm on here chopping up with you, but my brain is out there in the ocean, ready to get there.
Yeah, you going on vacation. So tell everybody where you're going. You headed on a cruise, right?
Yeah, we're hitting up Cozumel, Montego Bay, and the Cayman Islands.
Oh, yeah, man, that sounds nice, man. Ain't nothing like getting away, man. Vacation. Here's the thing, like, Knicks needs to get away, rest, and relax before the stresses of the season start to amount. Because I think you get back right before kickoff versus Tampa, right?
Right, big fact.
Yeah. So you gonna get fresh off the boat, man. You're gonna have a tan, be feeling all good.
Yeah.
Right in the football season, man.
And probably right to Dallas. You already know.
To Dallas. Hey, so let's go ahead and talk about it, Knicks, man. So a lot of people, he says loud. He says loud. Let me turn him down. All right, yeah. I want to blow y'all speakers, man. I want to blow y'all speakers. So next we were talking about Tyler Smith, like in, Jason Peters. That's the huge topic of discussion right now. But what is your thought process when it comes to the offensive line and moving forward? Like, what do you think is going to happen? What's going to be most ideal for game one?
Yeah, man. It's just, the thing that we kind of talked about was once the Tyron Smith injury happened, for me, I was, happy it happened before the season got underway. It gives you some options, more options than what you're going to have, say, 4 weeks into the season. Mm-hmm. So, on that side of things, it's good. But on the same token, you're still limited here. There's a Jason Peters out here that they have in the building doing the medical work and trying to get him on board. But we just kind of know going into this week one, it's going to be Tyler Smith at left tackle. It's going to be Connor McGovern at left guard. And, he's going to face, against the Shaquille Barrett. The one thing that I've kind of talked about somewhat when it comes to Tyler Smith was, if you look at his college tape, his hands were a bad position. Like, he has the size, the strength, the speed, but his hand placement at times at tackle was a little late, getting his hands up, right? Technique stuff. Mm-hmm. And one of the cool things about him moving into guard is instant contact. The hands have to be up quicker. So that gives me a little bit of hope of him going out to left tackle with the hand placement and getting them up quicker. And, kind of like what you said earlier, man, it's got to be patient here. And hopefully they get Jason Peters in here. They ramp him up. And then week 2, we would see he's massive, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Big body guy.
Big body.
And you see him get the left tackle, and then you get Tyler Smith over there to left guard, and you have a little bit better depth. You feel better about the position.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Just by doing that quick move alone adds a lot of beef to that left side. So, for a lot of people who's wanting to get back to the run game, you add that size of Jason Peters and you add the size of Tyler Smith at the left guard position, like that left side's kind of beefy. So, you can toss in 12 formation and get things really established on the ground, which I know a lot of Cowboys fans are kind of leaning towards, the ground game with the way that our offense is currently constructed. But yeah, I see in the chat they're saying the first holding call, fans are turning on them. Listen, y'all, as I've been saying, Nick has been saying, all of us have been saying, just be patient with this kid. But the upside is there. When you watch this film, like Nick just said back in Tulsa, right, you saw the raw. He's very raw. He's kind of like, think of the offensive version of like Sam Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like Sam Williams is very raw, but he's just a big physical mold of clay. And if you're able to mold him properly, the upside is there. It's the same exact thing when it comes to Tyler Smith. Hands a little bit grabby sometimes, but he's tough. He has the mental temperament. He's not going to give up. He's coachable. Everything is there. It's just going to have to translate on the field, which I think it will. Now, speaking of the offense, man, I dropped a video yesterday, Nix, about Noah Brown, and Dak came out and spoke very highly about Noah Brown. What's your thoughts and expectations for Noah Brown coming into the season?
Right. And, and Mike McCarthy, even in his press conference, had a lot to talk about Noah Brown. And I just think it goes back to the mindset of when you want to run the ball, right? And look, we know that Noah Brown has dropped some weight to help him with what he's going to do wide receiver-wise and getting in and out of his cuts and his breaks. But in general, we know that this team is going to be very heavy 12 personnel. They're going to be very heavy run early on in this season until Michael Gallup gets back. So they want to just maybe open this thing up a little bit more. Noah Brown, he's the only other wide receiver on the roster with NFL reception. Okay. Right. Albeit very limited, but he has them, And, and then the backside of that is, the one thing that I've tried to this offseason tell people and kind of convey the message of, when you're running the ball, the teams that run the ball well, it's not just about the offensive line. It's your tight ends, it's your wide receiver group, it's all of them, because the quarterback and running back can't block. You're automatically 9 versus 11.
Right.
So you have to have the people outside of just the offensive line out here blocking well. Well, what does Noah Brown do well? He blocks well. Right, that's noted. That's been known. So it's not really surprising that they're talking about him going out here. Dak's comfortable with him. He's dropped the weight. He'll get the lion's share of the number 2 wide receiver points. But like we said, though, Thug, your true number 2 target in the pass game is Dalton Schultz at the end of the day, and we'll get a rotation at wide receiver 2.
Yeah, I agree. I think Dalton Schultz is your clear and cut wide receiver number 2. I think he's going to get a bulk of targets. So a lot of people who haven't had their fantasy football draft as of yet, definitely keep an eye on Dalton Schultz. But I feel like he's going to have a huge uptick.
Yeah,
as far as usage. Yeah, I bet you did. Yeah, I bet you did. So yeah, because I think his usage is drastically going to increase. But when you look at the other wide receivers, right? So we know what CeeDee's going to bring. You kind of know what Noah is. Conversations are floating when it comes to Michael Gallup, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, who really knows? What is your expectations for outside of Noah Brown? Like, who do you think is really going to emerge? Is it going to be Simi? Is it going to be Dennis Houston? Are they going to use Tony Pollard more? Is it going to be Kevontae Turpin? Like, what is your thought process when it comes to that?
Right. And, I think people, when you look at the Cowboys, the Cowboys have a lot of talent. They have a lot of talent at every position. And, I think Yeah, I think Turpin's just going to be that specialty player. We've seen how they use the type of player that Turpin is. You know, you're going to look at like those 5 to 10 snaps, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it might not be all just receiving. We're going to see the jet sweep action stuff of that ilk. Turpin's an interesting guy, right? They brought him in here in the draft. The Cowboys didn't do him any favors before they hit the Oxnard. He's the number 2, and expectations were really high. Preseason came and went, but he didn't get to play with Dak. Mm-hmm. Anytime we hear about Silver playing with Dak, things are fine in the joint practices and the regular practices. But with the backup, you know, wasn't as clean.
Right.
But it's going to take a little time. South Alabama, 3rd-round pick. Things happen there.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, what it comes down to when we talk about Gallup is when he gets back, where is he going to be? Mm-hmm. You know, he's not going to be the same Gallup prior to the injury. How quickly does he come up to speed? That's why I find it interesting that the Cowboys, they at least have, you know, a line in the water for fishing for a wide receiver. They called about Denzel Mims, just that 4th-round pick. They said, no, thank you. So they're you know, doing some due diligence, ladies and gentlemen, at the wide receiver position. But it's kind of like the opposite of the defense last year, right? We wasn't sure what we was going to get, but we all kind of thought, you know, I know specifically I did that this defense had an opportunity to be better later in the year than early. Mm-hmm. And I think it's kind of the same thing here with the wide receiver core. We know what Lamb's going to be. We know Gallup's coming back, what we're going to get. You know, we're going to see this transition of Noah Brown to not being as hefty and dropping the pounds, and we're going to see the rookie come along. So the first 6-7 games might look a particular way, but once you get to the final 6 or 7 games, this wide receiver core might look very different.
Yeah, I think it's going to look very different once we get there. You know, and the huge question mark is also James Washington, which I'm thinking eventually by the time James Washington returns, one of these guys will probably emerge where the Cowboys are feeling comfortable. So what does that mean for James Washington, right? If you have Simi really get off to a great start, all right, who are you really going to move on from? Could it be Dennis Houston or could it be, you know, so that's a conversation we definitely got to keep our eye on. But like I said, y'all, the idea floating around with the possibility of us getting Michael Gallup back around week 4-ish, if we get him back before week 5, give me Michael Gallup back before the Rams, now we can talk a little bit. You know, now we can talk. Yeah. Now I can put a little bass back in my voice, right? If you tell me that Michael Gallup's going to be a full go, not rushing him out there, but it sounds like he's ahead of the curve right now. So you definitely got to be excited about that if you're a Cowboys fan.
You know, and the interesting thing, especially the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season to kind of keep the eye on is, how does Ferguson and Hendershot meld into this passing game?
Right.
You know, we got to see some things from them in preseason, and we know the Cowboys are going to be heavy 12 personnel early on. So I'm intrigued to see how those guys do get involved in the passing game as well, too.
Yeah, I agree. And when I dropped the video on Peyton Hendershot, he's one of those guys that can kind of just move the chains, but he can also get upfield. He has a little bit of wiggle, and so does Jake Ferguson as well. And so Dak likes that. And I feel like with the offensive line kind of in limbo, those quick throws, trying to get the ball out of his hands, just get it into the wide receivers and tight ends in space and let them do their thing and get upfield. I feel like that's going to be more important than ever. So, yeah, but before I let you go, Nixon, I know you're working, man. Defensive side of the ball. What is, you know, the ceiling that you think that this defense can really get to? I know a lot of people think that they're going to be able to carry the trend that they had last year with the takeaways and the turnovers, Micah Parsons with the sacks. But realistically, what is your expectations for this defense with Dan Quinn under year 2?
Yeah, I think you have to look at what they've done. By adding Barr to keep Micah Parsons free, to line him up wherever they feel he's best to attack at any time. But I think the biggest thing, and we go to last year, especially once Urban was out, you know, the run defense wasn't as good. And we got exploited in the wild card round, obviously, against the Niners. And then you kind of pivot even further. It was also the injury to D-Law, the injury to Randy Gregory, the injury to Neville Gallimore out the gate, Osa getting used up very quickly, right? And those things that happened. So what we've looked at, they really reinforced this defensive line, right? Not only we've seen Quinn Bohanna walk through the door, they kept Ridgeway. They got Watkins back onto the practice squad. Hill was a guy maybe they'll trade. He had a great preseason in camp, right? And here he is, you know, making the 53. So I think they've done their due diligence in this form of, hey, we're going to make sure we have enough beef up front where we're not going to be behind the 8 ball with an injury here or there to make sure to invest in stopping this run. And I think that excites me about where this team is.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like for the defense, there's a lot of different moving pieces that you got to be excited about because, you know, everyone kind of talked about leaning into the offseason, right? It's going to be Dorrance Armstrong, but you heard so many names kind of emerge at that other end spot. You heard about Fowler. I like what I saw from Fowler, not only in Oxnard, but also what I saw in preseason. I like what I saw from Sam Williams. Sam Williams has had a great preseason in the camp as well. And then you do have Dorrance Armstrong.
Real quick, not to cut you off, but to me, Sam Williams, I think, is the X factor. I think some of the glimpses that we got to saw, and how he was used. I mean, from 3 techs to 5 techs, setting up, rushing the quarterback. I'm very intrigued to see how Dan Quinn puts him into effect early in the season and what kind of role he cuts out. I think a lot of the times he's like, okay, you got him in here, rotational guy, outside of D-Law. I'm not so sure that's the plan for him. I think Dan Quinn has a specific plan, and I think we're going to see maybe more of him than what we expected. I'm not talking about 70% or 80% of the snaps, but I'm saying we might see him deployed in more ways than maybe we had initially anticipated once we got him in here via the draft and some of the work we saw in Oxnard.
I expect a lot of stunts, a lot of using that bull rush and let Michael loop right off them cheeks and come at that quarterback, man. Like the way I've been watching Sam Williams, like, man, he got one move, y'all, and he does it incredible. That's that bull rush, man. He gonna bull rush the hell out of him, and I feel like Dan Quinn's gonna utilize that. And all of a sudden, here comes Micah coming right off that edge. So it's gonna be exciting to see, man. My guy Nix, man, appreciate you for calling in. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, man. On the Twitterverse, I'm spicy today when Jerry Jones out here with this salary cap and quarterback salary talk. Excuse me, and I need the vacation right now because I'm getting a little too spicy maybe. But, man, you're _guy_Nix, NIX on Twitter. And, of course, man, if you haven't subbed over to Pick 6 Sports yet, we're live every Wednesday and Friday. And we got a midday show coming up, so make sure you check us out over on that side, too. And, of course, man, if you're in the building here, man, you got to follow my Fan CFO, get them lights up, and make sure you follow my guy. We got to get into 4K before the season gets underway.
Appreciate it, my guy. Salute to BJ Nix, man, Pick 6 Sports, man. Hey, my guy, have safe travels, man. We'll talk to you soon. All right, y'all. So, yeah, look at the little toys, working a little bit, man. Playing little toys, man. So that's how I feel, man. I feel like, especially when it comes to the defense. Oh, yeah, my guy, Mike Tagg's in the house. The hype's in the house, man. Definitely go give Mike Tagg a follow, man, my guy. He's going to be out there for the Tampa gang, bringing the hype, man. Mike, if you want to, man, hit me on my cell, man. We can definitely have you chime in real quick if you're free. Let's see here. Got my guy Mendoza in the building, El Diablo in the building. Yeah, my guy Mendoza. Light the chat up with them flames, man. Light the chat up with them flames. I appreciate all the support, man. Let's see here. Let the questions rip. But yeah, man, you got to be excited about Sam Williams. I feel like Sam Williams is going to have tremendous upside. Now, I was on the radio station yesterday, and they asked me, what is a hot take, Tuck, that, a lot of people may not be considering. And they were asking me about the offensive player, the rookie of the year, which was kind of a tricky question, right? Because I never thought about with this draft class who I might project as the offensive rookie of the year favorite, right? So I kind of lean toward Garrett Wilson. Drake London kind of have a knee injury, but I think it's going to be one of the wide receivers versus the quarterback because the quarterbacks are not going to get the opportunity. But they asked me about defensive rookie of the year, right? And of course, you got to toss in Aiden Hutchinson, Trayvon Walker, Jordan Davis, some of those guys. But do not be surprised, Cowboys Nation, if Sam Williams gets the opportunity, he could have a mega season. If he gets the reps, he can have a mega season. And the reason why I said it yesterday is because, right, you're going to have those offensive lines shifting towards DeMarcus Lawrence. You got to know where Micah Parsons is at all time. He is going to get a lot of one-on-one opportunities with those tackles. And like I said, once again, with that bull rush, if Dan Quinn can give Sam Williams just one or two more moves in his toolbox, which I think he'll have, I can see Sam Williams this year around 6 to 7 sacks. I would put 6 to 7 sacks on Sam Williams. That would be my over and under. I'd probably have him at 6 or 7. Yeah, 7. More than likely, if he gets the opportunity. Now, if he's kind of clogged up in that lane, then it's going to be hard for him to get those opportunities. My guy said, let's see here. Don't forget about Bland. He's going to have a good year. I feel like Vondell, when it comes to Bland, I love what I'm seeing from the kid, man. He's hard-nosed. He's edgy. He doesn't give up. He fights. But you do have a situation right now. Jordan Lewis is nicked up a little bit, but it's where the opportunity is going to come from. I believe that Deron Bland has earned the reps over Kelvin Joseph and Nashawn Wright. So when you're going to quarters, you're going to dime packages, and you're using four corners, right? I think that Deron Bland needs to be on the field, right? But as we always know, politics as usual. They're probably going to want to get Kelvin Joseph or Nashawn Wright out there, but I feel like Deron Bland is your cornerback 4 by a landslide, just based off of what I've seen. Now, I've said this, y'all, and a lot of people look at me side-eye when I say this, make no mistakes about it, y'all. And I said this in the last show. Kelvin Joseph is your most purely talented cornerback on the team. It's just not there. It's just not there right now. And I think this is focus. So compare this, right? Perfect scenario. The mindset that Tyler Smith has shown as a rookie, that's what you want to hear. You don't hear that from Kelvin Joseph. You don't hear him surrounding himself with other players. You don't see him surrounding himself around Diggs and asking questions. And those are the things that Kelvin Joseph really needs to do to take that next leap versus just relying on your athleticism versus Tyler Smith is a guy who's physically gifted, but he wants to learn. He wants to learn. He wants to grow, and he's submerging himself with that talent of Dak Prescott, like I said, in the offensive line. So you got to be excited about what you're hearing from the young kid. What's up? What's my guy, Darren James in the building? What's going on, bro? Salute to everybody in the chat. Like I said, we're just freestyling on a Friday. I'm off work. Now, I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret because I haven't broke the news yet because, I haven't got there yet. Hold on. Well, actually, let's hold a pause on that. Let's see here. Yo, Mike, can you hear us? Not much, man. Can y'all hear Tag, man? We got the hype in the building. Can y'all hear him? Let's see here. I think. Yeah, man. Well, actually, the crazy thing, I just got it right, man. I was up to like 2 a.m. last night playing around with it, and I think I got it. So I had it, for the past week, man, and I was using all this equipment so backwards. I didn't know how to hear myself through the audio, but it's a pretty cool thing. I can play like sound effects and all sorts of stuff, man. And, it's just, add into the thing, but I think they can hear you, man. So, Mike, man, my guy, here we coming up on this. Yeah, we're not going to keep you too long, man. Yeah, I'm feeling better now. And like I said, I like Tyler Smith. I can barely hear him. Oh, let me crank him up. Let me crank him. All right. Can y'all hear him now? So yeah, I like Tyler Smith. My idea when it came to the draft was what was the plan, right? So, he never played the offensive guard position, though he kind of has the traits of an NFL guard. I just felt like you shouldn't be taking a projected guard in the first round, right? So that was my only concern. But if the idea was to move on from Tyron Smith to Tyler Smith, that's perfectly fine. So let me get your thoughts on Tyler Smith, Mike.
He was going to kind of be groomed into that, to replace Tyron Smith. And I talked about it before. It wasn't a matter of, if, it was when he got hurt. And I'm just being honest with Tyron Smith. I'd much rather, if it was going to happen, I'd rather be now. Give Tyler Smith the opportunity at tackle. Maybe we get Peters, so then, maybe that slows it down a little bit. But I'd rather do it now than be 12 weeks in the season and Tyron Smith goes down and then we're really scrambling,
Right. Yeah. And see, and that was the frustrating part on my end is like they started off in OTAs, Mike. It's like they were training Tyler Smith at the left tackle position. So I was like, okay, well, that makes sense, right? He's kind of your left tackle, quote unquote, if something was to happen. And then we get to Oxnard and I'm sitting there watching. I'm just like, okay, he's not starting at guard over Connor McGovern. And he's also not getting any left tackle reps over Josh Ball and Matt Waletzko. Then I started to get concerned. And now we're in this situation where we're really crunching, 9 days, maybe 5 days really of quote unquote practice of him at the left tackle position. Now he came out and said that it's his natural position. He's going to be perfectly fine. But, for a rookie left tackle, we saw what Charles Cross was going through, other players across the NFL. Like, it's not as an easy position, right? But I feel like, right now we're in a situation that he's our only option. But let me get your thoughts on this because this is the hot topic button, Mike. What's your thoughts on bringing in Jason Peters? Is he the quote unquote guy you would aim for? Or is there another alternative you would probably be looking at to make a decision at the left tackle position?
Well, with left tackles, they don't, they're not just sitting out in the market. So, whatever we get, it's going to be, obviously you're going to have a drop off from Tyron Smith. But I think what Peters can do is bring some leadership and some stability, some calm to the offensive line. Because I think that's the one thing, if there's a concern for me, it's Zach Martin and kind of everyone else. And I think they've got to get maybe, you had Tyron there. You need that other veteran leadership to kind of be there on the side, to be a mentor, especially to Tyler, and to get him going. So I'm hoping they get it done. I mean, I was going to ask you if you've heard anything. I was traveling this week, and I thought it would have been done. I was in there Thursday, and it's like, man, are they going to drag it out and wait till after week 1 for the veteran in there, a veteran, so that I guess the contract's not guaranteed or something after week 1?
I hope not. I honestly hope not. And, Brian Broaddus had came out and spoken that, he's going through the physicals right now and everything. But when you bring a player in, you're in a situation and then he leaves and there's no deal. That's always like, oh, man, what did Steven say? What did Steven do? So I guess that the Cowboys are trying to get close to signing Jason Peters. I feel like they're in a situation, Mike, to be honest with you, they have to. There's no other situation. There's no other if, and, buts about it. They need to get this deal done. So Stephen Jones has to put a little extra in the bag to get it done. You just got to, because you cannot go out there with the offensive line depth that we currently have. It's just not going to hold up. Because like I said, our offensive line, the starting offensive line, is already thin as it is. If something happens to one of these guys, like think, for instance, y'all, if something was to happen with Terrence Steele, what are we doing at right tackle? So it's like, I feel like the Cowboys are in a situation where you can't play games. Just go ahead and fill the hole that you made and get it done. So we shall see. I think we'll probably have news by end of day today or probably tomorrow on Jason Peters.
Yeah, they need to. That's the one frustrating. I mean, the whole off season you get into it, but the one frustrating part for me is the line. Mm-hmm. I don't understand it. I don't know why they didn't address certain things. They've had the money, they have the opportunity. There was players out there that they could have done something with. Mm-hmm. So if there's one thing that I kill this front office with is the line, because that's that's the most important part.
Right.
And you got Dak Prescott, your most valuable player, and you're going to put him behind an inexperienced line with no depth behind it. And if someone got hurt, this was the fear. If one of these guys get hurt, what's behind them? And now they've kind of put themselves in a hole. So they need to, quit screwing around with it. You get a veteran guy, sign him, be done with it, and, get him going.
And get him going, exactly. And that was the frustrating part. Like, if you kind of go, even with their offensive line last year, even though they played horrific, in that playoff game versus the 49ers, right, at least we had depth. Right, Lyle gets suspended. You were able to kind of plug in Terrence Steele and still keep things afloat, right? Tyron Smith went down. You were able to plug in Terrence Steele, but plug in Lyle Collins, keep things afloat. You had conversations with Connor McGovern, Connor Williams. Zach Martin was out week 1. So you could do those kind of things when it came to the offensive line last year, but this year. And here's the thing I keep kind of trying to explain to everyone, Mike. We still don't know what the rules are with COVID. Like, I'm just kind of closing my eyes, keeping my fingers crossed that doesn't circle back around. But what if a player has to miss just something like that? Miss a game here, missing there. What really happens? And I just don't know. Like, if Zach Martin has to miss due to COVID or something like that, what are you going to do then? You're going to kick Connor McGovern on the right guard, but who's your left guard? So too many question marks on the offensive line that I feel like they should address in the offseason. Mike, before I let you go, because I know you're working, give us one pro why the Dallas Cowboys fans should be optimistic about the season and one big con why they shouldn't.
It was hard to hear you. You said one pro to be, say it again?
One pro to be optimistic about the season and one con why they shouldn't.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
it's the phone's messing up. It's just to give you a little. It's hard for me to hear you a little bit, so it's almost sounds a little underwater.
Okay.
But I will say
the season.
The pros and cons. I mean, look, I'm excited. I think the thing that we look forward to is the defense. I think we've become a defensive-minded team. I think that's going to be the strength. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm really excited about. The one thing that I'm concerned about is really, I hate to say it because I was really high on them. I'm not going to give up yet, but the receivers. Mm-hmm. I thought the younger receivers were going to step up a little bit more, but I know Dak didn't play in preseason, so what we saw on TV may not be translating into practice. I know you've seen some of the practices, so you can have a different take on it. So that's my concern. But I just want to say, Cowboys Nation, we're going to get hyped. Mm-hmm. Your boy's going to be dropping a video. I don't know if I should do it on Thursday or Friday because I usually do it, 48 hours before kickoff. So you guys let me know, and you let me know when you think I need to get hype in that case.
Yeah, let them know, man. Let them know when Mike needs to drop the hype, man. Mike, go ahead and tell everybody real quickly where they can find you at.
Definitely
mtag1993 on Twitter, Instagram, also on YouTube. You can look me up at Mike Tag. I love talking Cowboys. You guys know that. Love Jay Tuck. Can't wait to hang out with Cowboys Nation down in Lot 10. We're going to be kicking it. Yeah. Almost, man. We're almost a week away, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm heading down to Miami first to see my Canes tune up a team real quick because I want to do scouting for you. I want to see what you guys are about come Monday night. We're going to find out how real you guys are, too.
There we go. Hey, Mike, appreciate you for tuning in, man, my guy. Have a good one.
All right, man. Take care. Great show as always.
Peace.
See you, brother. Bye.
All right. My guy, Mike Tag, bringing the hype. Let's see. What we got going on in the chat? Let's see here. They let our line go from Sugar. Yeah, they really did, and I feel like, this has been the huge conversation piece about Lyle Collins, but at least if you had Lyle Collins, that allowed you a lot more freedom and flexibility. So let's say, for instance, Lyle is still on the team, right? Cool situation, right? You plug in Lyle at right tackle, then you switch over Terrence Steele, and you can plug in Tyler Smith at left guard. You can get right back to business. But by losing that, and you really had bet the offensive line on the production of Matt Waletzko and Josh Ball. Now, there was conversations last year about Josh Ball's struggling, right? Matt Waletzko, he's kind of a small school guy, kind of unproven, kind of working his way up. So that's where the Cowboys really bet their offensive line is on two unproven guys and then also a rookie project guy, man. So Night Train James, man, appreciate the subscription. But yeah, that's pretty much where they put their all the chips in, and as of right now, is not looking too good. Now, when it comes to the offensive line, y'all, it's going to come down to Kellen Moore, most importantly, because he is going to have to scheme strategically around this offensive line, man. You cannot, Kellen, come out there and have Dak Prescott dropping back and passing the ball 45 times versus Tom Brady on opening night with a rookie left tackle and Connor McGovern at left. Like, just don't do it, right? So it needs to be more balanced. I feel like Kellen Moore will be decent this season. Hopefully, throughout his interview process, through everything that went on, he's going to learn something from it. You feel like he would learn something from it, but you just never know until the season kicks off. Let's see here. Oh boy, we got some Eagles in the house. There's some Eagles in this house. Dak is in trouble this year. Your O-line's in shambles right before the season. We're not in shambles, right? It just isn't up to our standard. Let's see here. More questions. Let me scroll through. See, my guy Darren says, I'm excited about Turpin, honestly, and I hope they use him the right way in the offense too. So here's the thing when it comes to Turpin about the offense, y'all. I like Avante Turpin, but here's my thing I've been saying. Yes, they're going to use him in the offense, but the way that the Cowboys need to use Avante Turpin, they need to use Tony Pollard first. Like, no slight to Turpin. I just feel like as of right now, getting Tony Pollard involved as your Weapon X guy, that should be the main priority. And then you have Avante Turpin, so it's like, all right, let Avante kind of be your special teams weapon. But as far as Tony Pollard, I need to see the usage of Tony Pollard go drastically up. Not just in the run games, not just carries. Like, I need to see him, playing wide receiver, screens, jet sweeps, all that. Like, the usage, like, this could possibly be your last year of Tony Pollard. You get every dime you can get out of Tony Pollard right now. Now, here's the scary part. If you use him like that, right, that price goes up. The price goes up a little bit, but I am all for using Tony Pollard to his maximum capacity because I feel like the Dallas Cowboys have yet to do that and be able to utilize Tony Pollard. I'm going to see here. So your voice crackles when you talk about the O-line. You don't even believe what you're saying. That's what's up. Damn Eagles fans seem to worry about Dillard breaking his arm. Yeah. But they hear, man. The Eagles fans want to come to the whole show, man. So we got to give them a show. And, it's like they want. I can't escape Eagles fans on Twitter. I'll be having a random conversation about something. Here comes an Eagles fan. I'm doing a show, right? Here comes Eagles fans. Because we are the prize, y'all. And that's what Cowboys Nation needs to understand when it comes to the Eagles and some of these other teams. We are the prize. They want to beat us. They want to beat us. It means us absolutely nothing. We came out, we swept the Eagles, beat them by 90 points. 90 points. 90 points total in an NFL season. There's some basketball teams that didn't even lose by a total of 90 points, right? Beat them by a total of 90 points. And what did everyone say? Y'all didn't beat a playoff team. It's the NFC least. Y'all didn't beat nobody. Y'all didn't beat nobody with a winning record. We get zero credit. We get zero credit for beating Philly. Only thing that we get is to shut y'all up momentarily. That's it. On Twitter, on social media, y'all shut up. But then y'all come back and still chirping. We get absolutely nothing for the Eagles. But for y'all, it's t-shirts, it's hats, it's this, it's that, it's beat Dallas week. It's all, we the prize, 10 to 12 touches for Pollard. Man, honestly, I would probably increase that a little bit more. Especially right now, 10 to 12 touches for Tony Pollard, I would probably increase that a little bit more. I would probably think he would probably be in the 18-20 range, to be honest with you, bro, because I feel like he can do so much. And this is what I'm hoping, y'all. I'm hoping that Kellen Moore, because I see the question about Kellen Moore, sat back and saw what the 49ers were able to do with Deebo Samuel. I hope they sat back, saw that, and it's like, you know what? We got guys we could have did that with. Yeah, we could have a running back / wide receiver / we have guys that we can use. And that's the thing. Tony Pollard is a weapon, y'all. And I promise y'all I wasn't going to make another video on that. You can go back in the history of the channel and watch all my Tony Pollard videos, right? But this year is the year that you have to fully unleash Tony Pollard. There's no ifs and buts about it. And I hope we do it. And I feel like the Cowboys have backed themselves in a corner where they're going to have to do it. They're going to have no other choice but to utilize Tony Pollard to the maximum capacity. There are situations where you can have Zeke on the field, Tony Pollard on the field at the same time. You have to do it. You have to get more creative, because I feel like that's the biggest drawback. And that's when I dropped that video on Kellen Moore. If you haven't seen it, go back and check it out. But salute Jessica. What's going on, Jessica? Hope everything's good. You ready for the season? I hope that Kellen Moore kind of breaks out of his thinking. Sometimes you have talented players. You just need to let them use their God-given abilities. And that's the divide when it comes to Kellen Moore's thought philosophy versus Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn said, you know what? I really don't have no plan for you, Micah Parsons. Just go do what God gave you. just come off that edge and go be a lion. Go hunt. Go do what your God-given ability. We'll figure it out. You're going to play a little bit of edge. You're going to play a little bit of Sam. You're going to play a little bit of middle linebacker. I don't know what. Go do what the Lord bless you with, right? Kellen Moore needs that same Dan Quinn thinking, right? You know what? I'm just going to give CeeDee Lamb the ball. How about this? I'm just going to get Tony Pollard the ball in space and just let him do it. Now, I'll say this. He does have the capacity to scheme that way, right? Because you go back to what they did last year versus the Minnesota Vikings, right? With Cooper Rush as the quarterback. Cooper Rush, 3-step drop, got it to Amari Cooper, do your thing, right? 3-step drop, get it to Cedric Wilson, go do your thing. CeeDee Lamb, go do your thing, right? He got the ball out of Cooper's Rush's hands quickly and let his wide receivers be the playmakers. He has to do the same exact thing this season, but with Tony Pollard, with Kevontae Turpin, with CeeDee Lamb, get them the ball and let them go, but it remains to be unseen. Now, Guy Darren says, Eagles they do want to be us, bro, and it's hard. Eagles fans want to be us so bad. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to start no trouble, because I'm tired of being the bad guy, right? And I will say this. I am cool with a lot of Eagles content creators. Like, I talk to them daily, right? But I was looking online and I saw an Eagles content creator have a Bucks content creator, and they were breaking down the week 1 matchup between the Cowboys and the Bucks. Yeah, it's like, okay. All right, so I'll repeat. I saw an Eagles content creator. He had on a Tampa Bay Bucks content creator who's going to be on the channel next week. And they were talking about the Cowboys versus Bucks week 1 matchup. And I'm just like, are you guys that obsessed with us. Like, I would never bring on a Lions guy. I'm like, hey, let's talk about the Eagles first. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care at all. I really don't. Like, honestly, when the Eagles are playing on Sunday, I'm going to be at lot 10. I'm going to be out there partying with y'all. I'm going to be out there drinking with y'all, passing shots around, eating hot dogs and, all sorts of stuff with y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be sitting down like, hey, I got to go inside because I got to watch the Eagles game. I will not know what happens with the Eagles until I go inside or someone at AT&T Stadium says, hey, the Eagles did this. Because I don't care. I really don't care. Fun fact, when I do collaborative shows with Eagles content creators, I have my camera over here and I have PFF over here to look at their roster because I do not know their roster because I don't care. I don't care. I don't know who's the Eagles' third wide receiver. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know who the Eagles' second tight end is. I don't care. I don't know who the Eagles' free safety is. I don't care. Like, I don't know. And maybe that's me. And that's why they hate us, right? Because I'm the arrogant, pompous Cowboys fan. But I just want all Eagles fans to know, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care at all, man. So it's just like, all right, why are you so obsessed with me? I don't know, bro. I just don't know. Let's see here. Wait, what? Sheigel's talking about us versus the Buccaneers. I'm not going to put the guy out because he's a good guy. He's a friend of mine. But just go search Eagles, Cowboys, Bucks, and you'll probably find a YouTube channel of them having a breakdown about our week 1 game. I haven't even broke down Tampa yet. I'm still working this week to get ready to break down Tampa. Y'all breaking down Tampa before I even got to it. Guy Darren says, great Kellen Moore video, Tuck. Hit the nail on the head, man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate everyone who supported that Kellen Moore video, to be honest with you, man. Because to be honest with you, it was something as a Cowboys fan and content creator, I just wanted to know. And I just started, my gears started turning, man. My wife would tell you, like, I literally got up. It was like in the middle of the night, like at 2 a.m. And she was like, what's wrong? I was like, I gotta go downstairs. She's like, are you okay? And she thought I was like sick or something. I was like, no, I just gotta go downstairs. And I came down here in the studio and I started thinking, I started researching, started doing this. And I was like, all right, what is going on? And it's crazy because I try to tell people, right? When you decide to do content for the Cowboys or whatever it is, right, that you're passionate about, there's no off days. there's no off days. And I think people don't understand that. When you're passionate about this team, there's no off days for me. I can't take an off day even if I wanted to. Y'all see me. I was over in Dubai talking Dallas Cowboys. I was over in the Maldives talking Cowboys. I was on a flight, watching film. Because I'm so passionate about it. Passion keeps us lit, right? So that passion woke me up at 2 a.m. and was like, what kind of system is the Dallas Cowboys running the offense? I don't know. And so I just started doing some research and I was able to develop that video. But when I was making that video, I was like, man, people not going to watch this, Tuck. People don't care, because that's the inner, battle that you have as a content creator, right? It's like the more videos that you do with research and context and effort and work, they really don't pop. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I was to come out here and be like, F the Eagles suck, and put all the content creators on blast and on my thumbnails, it'll probably boom. And that's why they do it. You know what I'm saying? That's why they talk about it so frequently, because they boom, right? But it's like, for me, it's like, I never wanted to be that, right? So I just started doing my research, and I'm grateful and, excited about all the feedback that I got about the Kellen Moore video, because it shows the power of the community, because no one's never asked that question. No one has ever sit there and asked Kellen Moore, what is your offensive philosophy? We just kind of go with the flow. Yeah, she says, we don't care. We don't care, Eagles. And I think they get so mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have literally told Eagles content creators, Eagles friends of mine, you're not our rival. And they were like sending me texts. Nah, you're wrong. You're lying. You're lying. We are your rivals, Tuck. We are your rivals. I'm like, no, you're not our rivals. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. How could you say that? I'm like, you're not our rivals, bro. They were so bad. But hey, I get it, man. You see, I think the Cowboys don't like Pollard's blitz pickups. Teams caught on to his blocking, and they know that if he's in, he's not going to pick up blitz as well. Yep, I agree, David. But that's why you can use him and Zeke at the same time, right? Because yeah, Tony Pollard's not built to be blocking. Like Tony Pollard is a wide receiver. That's what he was at Memphis, right? He is not really built to be out there taking punishment with defensive ends and blitzing linebackers. That's just not his game, right? But you can utilize him and Zeke at the same time. Oh, here they come. Here come them bots. Who are them bots? Where's the mod squad? Mod squad, get him. Let's see here. These stupid bots, man. Get him. All right, there we go. It's so crazy that you can't even have a conversation without bots everywhere. Like even on Twitter, it's just like bots, bots. But yeah, I just think that, they need to utilize Tony Pollard and Zeke. Because think about this, right? If you come out in a 2-back formation and you have Zeke and you have Pollard, you still have to keep linebackers in there to respect Zeke, all right? And then boom, here comes Tony Pollard in motion. Oh, you're good, Steve. You're good. You're good, man. I'm just messing with y'all. Salute to the mod squad, man. Salute to all my mods in the building. Then you have Tony Pollard, you have Zeke, right? You have to keep a linebacker in there, right? So you might go in your base formation, whether you're a 3-4 team or 4-3 team, and keep 3 linebackers. So you got to have linebackers to tackle Zeke. But all of a sudden, here comes Tony Pollard in motion. Now he's viewed as a wide receiver. But now you're not a nickel, right? Now you got a linebacker covering Tony Pollard. I'm taking that matchup 99% of the time. Tony Pollard versus a linebacker, I'm taking it. Tony Pollard versus a lot of NFL safeties, I'm taking it, right? But so that's the chess piece, the chess match that Kellen Moore needs to improve at. I feel like that's where he really struggled last year, was the chess game, but in between the game, right? I feel like I said in the video, he's an incredible play designer. He's not a play caller, and it's not easy, right? It's a lot. If any of y'all playing Madden right now, playing Madden 23, I'm going to be completely transparent. I suck this year. I suck this year at Madden, and I'm normally decent, y'all. Like I played in the tournament 2 weeks ago. I held my own. I advanced to the next round. I was supposed to play last weekend. I was like, nah, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of thought processing and chess pieces that goes on in between the lines. And I feel like that's where Kellen Moore needs to improve. But most importantly, that's where Mike McCarthy needs to help. That's where Mike McCarthy needs to help. The way that Tyler Smith is speaking about, Tyron Smith and Terrence Steele and, Zach Martin and, Dak Prescott coming down, talking to him, being a sponge. I need Mike McCarthy to be a leader for Kellen Moore. Now, I know that wasn't the guy that you selected. I know they say, you know what? We're going to handcuff you with this guy. This is your guy. Make it work, right? But in order for this to work, Mike McCarthy is going to have to show his value somewhere. He is going to have to show that, hey, he is the veteran coach. He is the quote unquote quarterback guru. He is the Super Bowl winning coach. I need to see the value from Mike McCarthy this season. No more just standing by and just letting things kind of just go, deferring things to your coaching staff. Stop deferring. It's time for you to roll up your sleeves and get dirty. And I feel like Mike McCarthy, if you're going to go out, bro, go out your way. Go out your way. I already kind of see a setup, right? If you're going to go out your way. Mike McCarthy has nothing to lose by saying, you know what? I'm going to do things my way. What they're going to do, fire you? Yeah, they're going to fire you regardless. You're going to do things their way and still get fired. Might as well do things my way and get fired, right? You know what I'm saying? Because trust your instincts, Mike McCarthy. So I want to see the value. I don't want to hear no conversations at the Tampa that he saw the team was nervous. Nope, you be a motivator of men. You get them ready, right? I don't want to see any of that, man. So I feel like Mike McCarthy, this is the year to really show and prove that you are worth the hire. Because if not, if the Cowboys fall through the cracks this season, we don't make the playoffs, don't win the division, win 8 games, you could have just kept Jason Garrett. You could have just kept Jason Garrett, but he needs to show he was the reason for the hire, man. And, it remains to be unseen. I just hope and pray, y'all, that he doesn't fold, right? Because sometimes if you kind of getting set up, you might just fold and be like, I'm done. I don't want the, getting the massager, Mike McCarthy and all that. Salute to my guy, Professor O in the building, man. What's going on with you, bro? I don't want that Mike McCarthy. I want the Mike McCarthy that's going to leave his imprint on this team. And that's what I was hoping the most. When I look back and see this team, I wanted to see a Mike McCarthy mentality. Now, it's funny, right? Look how quickly our defense mirrored and matched Dan Quinn's philosophy and his mentality, right? You see the defense with swagger, they're having fun, they're loose, they're laid back, they're out there talking noise, like they're flying around. They match Dan Quinn's mentality just like that. When is the offense going to match Mike McCarthy's mentality? They're not. They're matching Kellen Moore. It's this soft, conservative, I need to see that from Mike McCarthy. I need to see Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott. I need to see more photos. I need to see more conversations, right? I need to see my quarterback and our head coach, who's an offensive guy, a proven quarterback guru, right? A Super Bowl champion. I need to see y'all like this. I need to see y'all like this on the sidelines talking like this. What are you seeing? I see too much Dak and Kellen. I need to see more Mike and Dak, because you're the head coach. Leave your imprint unless you already packed your bags and you're getting up out of there. It says multitasking while working. Yeah, man, like I said, I'm off for the rest of the day. Oh, so the big news I forgot to share with everybody before Mike Tag called in. So your boy here in probably about 4 or 5 hours, I will be officially on staff for the Kansas football team. So I will be covering the Big 12 football throughout this football season. So I'll be up in the press box and talking to players and all sorts of things. So it's a good opportunity, and it helps us get a huge jump start on the NFL draft content who's going to be here in Kansas City. So, the Jayhawks, they win about 1-2 games a year, right? But they've had some talent come out of that university, right? And there's even some offensive tackles that we'll definitely talk about, and some safeties coming out of the University of Kansas. So I'm excited about that. So I'll be live and direct covering the Kansas Jayhawks. I think they play like Tennessee, Chattanooga or something like that today. Yeah. But it's going to be fun to be, up close and personal to a lot of Big 12 teams. And so it's going to be fun. So I'm definitely going to share that with y'all. Yeah. Dorrance Armstrong, Kyron Johnson, those are guys that came from Kansas. Dorrance Armstrong is a Jayhawk, man. So it's going to be fun. But like I said, they got TCU here. They also, Oklahoma State's here as well. So it's going to be some talented teams that come in. So hopefully get up close and personal. And then hopefully once draft season starts, next year, we can start to bring those players on the channel and have different conversations and get my mic audio. So when I call them out, it's actually working the volume both ways. But, salute to everyone, saying like these opportunities that come for me is not just strictly off of me, man. It's about us. You guys are giving me the platform, showing me support, and we're taking off with it, and we're going to continue to reach high levels, man. Salute. Appreciate you, Mike Tag. Appreciate you, Florida Cowboy, El Diablo, Professor O, man. Appreciate you all, you guys. Man, like I said, you guys keep me going. And it's the passion. It's the passion of the fan base. Understanding football, talking football is what I love to do. Like I started this channel back in 2020. It's crazy to see how far we've come. We were going through a pandemic. I was locked in my house, couldn't talk to nobody, couldn't go to no football games, couldn't go outside, couldn't do nothing. I started this little bitty channel with a laptop. This whole room was empty, right? Go watch my very first video. It's bad. It's bad. It was hella bad, right? But we've grown this far, man. We're almost to 4,000. I think we should be close to 4,000. I think we're like 20 people away or something like that. So we're trying to get to 4,000. But I remember doing live shows, y'all, and it was my kids upstairs. They were on their cell phones watching the videos, and it was like, well, hey, Dad. That's what my chat used to look like. Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Turn your mic up a little bit. Hey, Dad. Hi, what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, cool. But, it's fun to see, like, for anybody who wants to start, you got to start from somewhere. Like, it doesn't just happen. You don't just become Law Nation overnight. You don't become Skywalker overnight. You don't become Voch Lombardi overnight, right? It's a grind, but when you love and enjoy the grind, it doesn't feel like work. This doesn't feel like work to me. Like, I'm off work. I could be outside. I could be doing some thing. I can be playing Madden. I can be chilling, right? I want to talk to my Cowboys people, man. So that's what it's all about. It says, Tuck, let's get ready for our Seminoles on Sunday against LSU. Yeah, man. It's going to be a fun game, to say the least. But I like what I've seen from my Noles, man, specifically the run game. So it's going to be interesting. I'll say that, man. But, like I said, we the real DBU. Florida State, I know my guy Mike Tag might disagree. Florida State is the real DBU, and we'll see how everything sorts out on Sunday. So I appreciate all you guys' support, man. But keep the questions going. Like I said, I'm just chilling, man. I got about 10 more minutes. Let's see here. Go through all the questions. Let's see here. My guy David says, I like Law Nation. Law Nation is one of the coolest people you'll ever meet. You know, and it's crazy because you think like it's Law Nation is like some superstar status, and he's like, oh, yeah, guy I never talked to me, you know. So it's like, no, Law Nation is the coolest dude you'll probably ever come across. Like, even when I started back in 2020, like I had no idea Law was even like watching my channel, aware of who I am or anything, right? So Law called me off the phone, or he hit me on Twitter. It's like, hey, can I give you a quick call? I was like, yeah, sure. So I gave him my number, and he put me on the opportunity with the Fan to Fan network. For you those that remember, it's like a Fan to Fan network, which is a cool idea where it was like an NFL network and a website and a channel where it was like content creators from each individual NFL team. And he was like, I think it's gonna be a good opportunity for you. So he plugged me in with the owner, the guy Joe does fantasy football content. We built relationships. And that was kind of my start of like getting in the mud, right? So, you know, Law didn't have to do that, you know? So it's like everyone in our community, y'all, is really cool. You know, like it looks overwhelming at sometimes. Now, sometimes there's egos, you know, but it's like a huge brotherhood. Like West Coast will tell you, like me and West Coast got into a knockout, drag out phone call fight. We cussed each other out, hung up on each other. We talked yesterday. We forgot what it was all about. You know, like me and West Coast went at it about something. And we're like, what were we arguing about? I was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. You know, so it happens. Me and Boss Cowboys, we've gone at it. Me and Professor O, we've argued in chats. You know, it's a huge brotherhood because ultimately all of us want the same thing. We want to win. We want to win. And, you know, sometimes the way I see things might not be the way you're seeing things, but it doesn't mean I'm right and this person's wrong. It just means that you're looking at it from a different perspective, right? And I feel like not just only with sports, but also just in society as general. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're always going to see things from a different angle, but understand, listen. Yeah, me and Professor O argue every preseason about who should be playing and who should not be playing. Like, he was all a fan clapping, like, oh, we got 27 people sitting out on preseason. I'm like, bro, it's whack. It's soft. I hate it, you know? And we're going back and forth. But Matt O is like my brother, man. We talk daily. I talk to Nix daily. I talk to Spoonie, Mary. We talk to all of us daily. So, you know, I don't think people really understand what goes on behind the scenes. Like, you know, even with the Eagles guys, you know, I play Madden with those guys. I talk to Brunson daily. You know, I bought one of those Hurt season hats. Now, I didn't buy it for me. I bought it for an Eagles supporter because I do have weirdly, I do have a lot of Eagles supporters on my channel who donate. So I bought them the hat, right? I'm not going to put that mess on. But, you know, it's like I support it because it's all about the community and uplifting each other versus trying to tear each one down. We get enough of that. We get enough of that in real life. Everyone trying to tear each other down. I'm not going to do that with my platform. Now, if you come at me sideways, I will respond. But it's not all about tearing each other down. It's all about uplifting, man. So I always tell people, if you watch my channel, don't just sit on my channel. Go watch Law Nation. Go watch Mark Holmes. Go watch Scott. Like, go watch all of them and then form your own opinion from there. Don't say, you know what, I heard Tuck say this about Josh Ball, so I'm just going to go with the Tuck because I'm CFOgang. Like, no, like, go get your, you know, from everywhere and then formulate your own opinion. That's what it's all about. I put things down from my perspective. You might say, hey, I think that Josh Ball is perfectly fine. You can, I don't know, right? So go with it, right? And so I think that's something that a lot of people have to understand is that, you know, we're all just putting our ideas together. Right now, we are all in the studio trying to make a hit record, in which is the Dallas Cowboys winning championship. So, you know, I think that, you know, the tricky part, I'm kind of going on soapbox, but I told myself I wasn't going to do this, but it needs to be talked about, right? We are seeing right now a cross. And it's something new that no one has ever seen or done before, where you're seeing content creators cross the line. Like myself, I was a guy who started a show or whatever, a channel in my basement. Now I covered the Super Bowl. I've now covered the NFL draft. I'm covering Big 12. Like, so it gets crossed, right? But people hold us to a different standard, because it's hard to understand, right? So, case in point, if Jane Slater or Michael Gelkin go on, Fox Sports or wherever, right, ESPN, and say, you know what, I think the Eagles are going to win the division. No one bats an eye, right? But then if I come out and say, you know what, I think the Eagles had a great draft class. Tuck, how could you? You're not a real fan. How could you? But y'all wouldn't watch me or support me if I was just saying all sweet sugar stuff. Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. Cowboys going to go undefeated. Dak Prescott can't be stopped. Our defense can't be stopped. We got the best offensive line. It's Noah Brown season. He can't be like, y'all, you would be wasting your time watching me if that's all I'm just doing, just saying all the good things about the Cowboys just because I'm a Cowboys fan. Like, that makes zero sense. We have the right to speak objectively about the Cowboys. Y'all know I'm a Cowboys fan. People who see me at games, almost at every game, and know how much money I've put into this stupid team, you can't pull my fan card. Let's just say that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm passionate about this team. I love this team, but you want to speak objectively about them and call it how you see it. I can't be all sugar and Kool-Aid because it makes no sense. You don't need yes men around you in your circle in life. You need people and say, hey, tighten things up, get better, and that's the same thing I'm doing with the Cowboys because I want to see them get better. See, Professor O says, if you listen to a lot of content creators, you will kind of piece together what each person is really good at and you can find value from. Exactly. All of us do something a little bit differently and a little bit uniquely. And it's just like, the Avengers or something like, like we come together to win, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's what it's all about, man. It's a huge brother and sisterhood. I mean, it's not just the content creators, man, because I don't want to feel like it's content creators, YouTubers versus the media. Like, there's guys in radio that does a phenomenal job. There's guys who are writers, guys and girls who do a phenomenal job. Like, a lot of people play their role. I know my role and I'll just play it. That's it. Darren said, nah, y'all content creators are cool, and I thank y'all for pulling me away from ESPN and FS1 for the real Cowboys content, especially living in DC. Y'all definitely need it out here for our sanity. And that's what it's all about. The media, the big Skip Bayless, that's the Thanos. That's what we're trying to defeat. Because coming up as a Cowboys fan, why did I watch Skip every day? Because he was on Cold Pizza, and every day they would talk about the Cowboys. And so I've been following Skip Bayless way back when he was on Cold Pizza on ESPN because that's where I was getting my Cowboys news from. Now, me back then, I didn't know that's junk food. I didn't know, and I think a lot of people don't know that. People don't know they're getting junk food. It's just like some people eat McDonald's every damn day. That's not what we're trying to serve. We're trying to serve you a home cooked meal, with green beans, mashed potato, all that stuff, right? A good, healthy, balanced meal. So that way it's better for you. You're not going to hear Skip Bayless come out and break down no film. Skip Bayless even said when it comes to Micah Parsons, he doesn't even know what an off-ball linebacker is. But he's going to have Micah Parsons on the show every Tuesday. It's like, yeah, you're not going to listen to, because here's the thing. They talk about way too many things to be efficient in this one thing. This is it. This is it. Like, this is the Cowboy. Like, I know I don't need no notes. I don't need no nothing for the Cowboys. I can just go. You can call me. Hey, Tuck, it's 8 a.m. I want you to come on my show and talk about the Cowboys. Okay, boom, let's do it. Because the passion burns. And so that's what we're fighting against, is just giving you guys a different perspective to learn. When people come to my channel, me specifically, I want to teach. I want to teach in some cases, right? I want people to know the game of football, take the complex world of football, NFL football, and break it down into a way that a child can understand. That personnel, that different formations, that what's a route tree, 3-tech, 1-tech, knows, the difference between a cover 3, a cover 4, a cover 3 cloud. Like, I want you to kind of get that understanding so you know what you're watching. Professor O does another great job with analytics. You don't get those type of analytics anywhere else. Professor O is a freaking database. He's a freaking database, and you don't get that outside the Cowboys community. And that's something that I noticed earlier on, way back when Zeke was going through his trial, the power of the community. There was a girl on my Twitter, salute to Mighty. She graduated. She's a lawyer from Syracuse. She was breaking down that Zeke situation in the case step by step in a way that I understood it. And she was like 3 days, 3 steps ahead of the national media. And I'm just like, that's powerful. That's powerful that someone who's just a Cowboys fan, but she went to law school, was breaking everything down and being steps ahead of the media. And that's what kind of clicked in my head, the power of the community. You know, there's a lot of things that I do, that others do, we're steps ahead. Jalen Tolbert, you probably would have never heard about him, but for some reason, Jay Tuck, way back in February, broke down film on this kid out of South Alabama. Now, there was so many wide receivers. I never dropped a Gary Wilson video. I never dropped a Drake London video. I never dropped, some of these other wide receivers. I mean, I dropped Jalen Tolbert specifically because I looked through the Cowboys lens and think that could be a player the Cowboys could be viewing to take. So, it's about the community, but not just about me, man. It's about us. We're a family. We're all coming together, man, and I love doing this, and I cannot thank you guys enough, man. Warm round of applause. Yeah, give yourself a warm round of applause. I appreciate everyone. Like I said, man, I just wanted to kind of tune in. I'm on my lunch break. Well, not on lunch break. I'm off today. But I know you guys are on your lunch break, so I want you guys to get back to work, man. I don't want y'all to be getting fired because y'all gonna need some money to go see the Cowboys this year. My guy, Professor O, says you need to precision shot. You can call Hawkeye. Sometimes you need to smash things. You need a Hawk. Same here. Yep. Some films, some are ideas, some are flex, some are passion. Yep. Everyone does a few different things, man. And that's what it's all about. The community coming together, putting our thoughts together to big up the Dallas Cowboys, man. So I appreciate everyone's support. Like I said, get those likes up, get those shares up. We are trying to get to 4,000. Hopefully we can get there before Sunday. You know what? If we get there before Sunday, well, no, because I'm going to do it anyway, right? Y'all keep asking for it. I'm about to drop the merch store, but I got some creations in the merch store. And I've been kind of holding out, but I'm going to go ahead and drop it. I'll probably drop it on Monday, but it is what it is, man. But hey, I appreciate all support. It's a Memorial Day weekend. I want everyone to be safe, be thoughtful. I don't want to wake up to any sad news regarding anybody, right? So make smart decisions. If you drink, just call an Uber, just be smart, right? And because we got a season to get ready for, man. This time next week, I'll be in Dallas. It's crazy when I think about it. I'm going to be in Dallas. I'm going to be at my mom's house getting ready for some Cowboys football, and I cannot be more ecstatic, more excited. And like I said, my guy, Mike Tag said, Lot 10, we're going to be outside. If you see me, say what's up, man. Come shake my hand. I appreciate. That's the part I love the most, is meeting y'all in public, man, and just hanging out, having a good time, and celebrating what we do as a Dallas Cowboys, man. So I want everyone having a great holiday. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys. Peace.